to actually push these side lanes out than GamersOrigin do. So maybe if they can play the game on their terms, they still have a good shot. But obviously, GamersOrigin with the Twisted Fate can collapse on side lanes in a way that GameWard's composition can't. So that would be the counterplay for GamersOrigin in those situations.
Yeah, and,
ultimately, if Jinx lives, they'll be fine. But it's all on Jinx, right?
Yeah, in an absolutely massive way, like you're saying. Yeah, Jinx simply has to stay alive, scale to the worst of late game. And what we're seeing already with Akabane and Kareem KT starting off with the exact same sides, but considering Kareem actually started leashless, Akabane started with a leash, that means he wants to rush down bot lane. He wants to make sure that Inax is ahead as soon as possible. Exactly what we saw at Misfit, so Akabane we should see, pretty early. Star probably level 3, level 4. We should see him trying to go down to drive against Smiley or N-Wave just to make sure that Inax can be ruthless against this entire roster. So that was a nice little pulverize. So just make sure that you just headbutt them away. But so
nice
far,
by Camilius though. Yeah, nice by Camilius though. It's very easy for Jinx to get lane control in early phases. You do have to hotly contest her. I think it was good by them to try to get some priority to prevent Jinx just getting a free crash. And otherwise, Xin Zhao will be shut out in the bot side of this jungle here. Wouldn't be able to contest Scuttle. So I think it was nice to trade HP there overall to slow the game down. Like you're saying, both junglers are thinking about bot side of the map. We don't really expect this Poppy Ornn to fight to the extent that they'll both be in lethal range of junglers, right? It's tank versus tank. And Jarvan looking to go straight for the acceleration play, but it's sighted out by Camilius. Very, very good timing there on the ward. Red into Raptors, into Gromp, fastest level 3 possible, and now Jarvan just has to move back into the jungle and complete his clear.
Yeah, and considering they know that they saw that he was level 3, so they probably sniffed out what his clear was, and they know that with the blue buff being off, Akabane now has a small window to possibly move in. He's spotted on the ward, but instead now chooses to move in towards to get the crab, and yep, there we go, he takes that away. He could just move back and double crab him potentially if he wanted to try to do so, but instead, he goes back in his own jungle, will finish off his clear, and likely just back after that. So much more of a stalemate than what we were expecting.
Yeah, since the XP nerfs on the Scuttle Crabs, it's definitely much better decision for Xin Zhao to simply reset his Krugs, then to go straight for the double crab. He already knows that he has a clear lead over Jarvan from Jarvan showing up on that wall bot side and revealing his clear, and he just wants to continue that lead. He scales better into the game than Jarvan does, so he's fine if Jarvan gets to Scuttle. He's eternally going to be a camp and a full reset ahead. That's a level 1 Krugs on top side, but the countdown to a level 4 Krugs has already begun for Xin. Good decision by him, and you also saw there the dividends from Camilius's early contest on the push. They were able to threaten River, able to make sure Xin Zhao gets the Scuttle, and here you could see a movement to River from him, not possible if Jinx had gotten full lane priority uncontested. So good job by the bot lane, and good job by Akabane. They have to play this game really, really well to secure the win, and thus far they're doing it.
Yeah, exactly like you mentioned, right? We were talking about how GamersOrigin have been a clear 5-man unit right from yesterday as well. You saw how well they play around one another and up against for GameWard, right? We've mainly just seen that with them securing really good power picks, especially for Jekyllod. That's been a lot of the ways they managed to secure their wins. With Jekyllod now in the LeBlanc, it does need some time before we can one-shot all their carries. So it would be interesting to see on how they manage to link up, right? They do have pretty solid composition. Or looks really good here as well, and denying that for Visit Chachi won't necessarily make a difference early on in the game, but it's about when we get past 15 minutes is really where we see the difference.
One big thing that's happening here, though, right, is knowing the timings of Jarvan, he could know that he can invade his Gromp on bot side here. Xin Zhao's actually cleared 2 level 3, level 4 camps, whereas Gromp's now respawned for Jarvan. If he's confident on the timings, you could see a full invade by them. This is why you have Alistar moving into the jungle now, knowing this invade is possible. We've gotten the Raptors. There's a brief pause before the Krugs respawn. They're looking to get mid priority. This could turn into an invade and a contest on bot side jungle. Going on to Enjave, the contest begins.
Yeah, exactly like you were mentioning. They're 3 people strong, so Kareem KT and N-Wave have to simply walk away, but here's the flash stun, along with the lockdown, the chains will land, and Jekyllod getting the first kill.
Yeah, this is why they call it cheese, right? You go for the free camp spot side, the cheese doesn't work, but they now have your timings and they know when to contest. Where can Jarvan go from this? Xin Zhao's already cleared his own top side, so Jarvan can't just recall and invade top side, and it's not like Jarvan can go to Xin Zhao's bot side Krugs because he'd have to go through Xin Zhao to do it. And Xin Zhao has full control of the map right now. Really, really good use of the knowledge from that one ward that Camilius did early on. This is how League of Legends is played early. Parting matters, guys, all right? Playing for your junglers matters. These are the kinds of advantages you can get. Jarvan, he will get his Wolves, but he doesn't get his Gromp. Xin Zhao will reset his Krugs, and now the next point of contest will be topside Scuttle and topside Blue Buff.
Yeah, because you saw as well that Jekyll actually TP'd down as well right at that exact moment, knowing exactly what's going to happen. So, like you're mentioning, making sure that you were supporting your junglers in all his efforts and trials and tribulations. Let's look over on the top side as well. Vizachachi managing to maintain lane control against the Ornn. A solid job by him, knowing how to play a tech matchup well. But honestly, with all tech matchups, right, it's just like two fists colliding, one after the other, until one fist eventually backs and goes back up to full health. So, not much more going to happen here.
It's also worth mentioning, though, that it was around 5:30 when the contest began on bot side. That's when Twisted Fate hits level 6. You know that red team is not going to hard contest bot side. They're too far behind on the play. They'll lose that. Yeah. So there was a Twisted Fate threat on top side. That was emphasized by when Alistair Jarvan ran through to contest topside Scuttle. Ornn couldn't really do anything into the Poppy. Vizachachi plays really aggressively, but he's the one with the permission to do so because of the map movements of GamersOrigin and the contest by GameWard. Ornn just had to suck it up while his jungler continued to get a lead. Ornn will be useful no matter what his CS. That's the benefit of this tank versus tank matchup. So it's good by him to play sacrificial and not get too greedy.
Yeah, and we were talking about that yesterday as well, which simply, you have one job to execute within this team, right? And I find, as does every single other person on this GameWard team. Right, Melnick right now knows he has to scale up, but as you look down, there we go. There is the Destiny to get a bunch of damage down on Camilius. As the Ignite taking him down. We'll see if Ignite can get a trade. Not enough damage to the Zeri yet. So all of GamersOrigin will walk away.
Yeah, but this is really, really good play there by Ronaldo. They know Xin Zhao's topside. Zin's response is to play very, very heavily around the Herald. And you can see there, knowing that Xin Zhao's top, knowing that they've revealed they have numbers advantage on bot lane, the side of GamersOrigin, GameWard's tank is now the one being aggressive on top side. He's being the one given the permission to be aggressive. He'll transfer that immediately into a Herald advantage for Akabane. Maybe they could use this to unlock LeBlanc for another wave, maybe try to make another play, but that's going to be in the future. Jinx for now, not on the map. Zeri has to reset after pushing this wave out on bot. Tank v tank here, we're not expecting anything big to happen. Yep. No Gwen here to snip someone to death. And the next point of contention will be, what do they do with this Herald? Yep. Oh, but we have a full contest happening on the bot side of the map here.
I was going to say here, Camilius managed to find Edgewave as well as there was waiting for them in the bush. And Edgewave will go down yet again. And Kareem KT actually had no idea. Akabane and Camilius were just chilling there for a minute and a half, waiting for him to walk in.
But that was a good contest by them. They know Xin Zhao's clearing top to bot here. They know he's going to enter bot side, and if he's going to do anything mid, it will be via the bot side. So they're trying to contest this side of the map.
Yeah, and Camilius is just simply dead as they lock him down. A couple more autos should be able to do it. Yep, there we go. A kill just given over to Ronaldo.
Yeah, you can see that GamersOrigin are trying to respond to a bad economy situation, though all of the camps of Jarvan are up all over the map, but he knows if he doesn't make these aggressive plays, Xin Zhao's going to be able to get priority for LeBlanc, and they're going to be able to make plays around the map. With Leona dead on bot side, that's no longer an option for them. Good plays by them, sacrificial by Kareem KT, but I think ultimately completely justified. And it has turned the game in their favor, given them river control here, and allowed them to transfer into this Drake wholly uncontested.
Yeah, like you're mentioning, easy to pick up for themselves right now for Kareem KT, and that was a really solid startup for the side of GamersOrigin too. So this early trading going across the board between these two teams, but I'm liking what I'm seeing a lot more out of Geo so far. Just hammering home the narrative that they know how to play around their timers, and this TF pick has been instrumental in being able to do so, because the last thing you want is getting in-axe ahead. The Zeri we've seen can be terrifying. So just making sure that he's down in farm, he's down in levels, whatever you can do to make sure that Smiley has a much better time in lane.
Yeah, certainly. And I mean, there's even a little bit of a storyline going on here. Oh, and we are looking at us, I guess. Hello, guys. Don't worry. We will get back into the action soon enough. But there's even a bit of a storyline here. Akabane, after all, was actually Karim KT's replacement on Berlin International Gaming. And here he's definitely showing his prowess at certain aspects of the jungle. But you can also see why Karim KT continues to be picked up by teams. His responses to that were very, very selfless, and they were dedicated around getting the map back on track for his team. Poppy doesn't want any of Akabane. Right? You keep your advantage to yourself, boyo, okay? You're not into me.
See, that's
right
what I was
there-
saying. That's what I was saying. That's just a no thank you composition. That's it.
Exactly. Fully agree on that. And that's the issue, right? Sure, Akabane's getting these leads. Sure, LeBlanc's getting a lot of CS on the self, but does that really matter when GamersOrigin just have a nope button on several champions? You can't really use your advantage to play acceleration. Karim KT, on the other hand, no real advantage gotten to him in the jungle matchup, but he has been able to set up acceleration plays nonetheless. This is the challenge that GameWard are going to face when we get to the mid-game phase.
And I like a lot of this so far because we've seen it in previous games as well. We talked a lot about Karim KT stepping up as one of the big carries for this GO team, especially on picks like the Lee Sin and Xin, right? But across the board, it's been a bit more of a selfish play, you know, a bit more just like trying to make early plays, taking those kills. But considering he's giving up these camps and playing a lot more for his layers, I imagine this is the kind of change and shift we've seen out of the GO team. And there's a lockdown, a lot of big damage. Karim KT has to get out of there, but Andrew, you got big beefy front liner, Rocky will not land, but Chameleon's in some danger. Puts down the solar flare with in just enough range for him to walk away and still get the lockdown onto Vizichachi.
And after a good Ronaldo's looking for it. I don't think he's going to find it, though, unless Checolat messes up. And the yellow card is down. Checolat going for some poke, but after an apt demonstration of GameWard's problems later on, with the Poppy and the big nope button, the no thank you comp as you put it. Checolat should be fine here. Yeah, he's fine there. Yep. Free summoner burn there, you know, mate. Like, who cares? We immediately see an issue with GamersOrigin's composition that they're going to have later in the game. They made the pick, but Jinx wasn't there for them, so they just did not have the damage to capitalize on the situation, whereas GameWard, multiple damage threats. If you're not able to just say no thank you, you can't go for those situations without Jinx being there and just assume that you're going to be alive long enough, because there's a lot of damage on GameWard's side. So you can see the issues both teams might run into later on. Question is, which team will play around their issues better?
And so far, we've seen that pattern actually come inside of GameWard, of GamersOrigin, sorry, especially, right? Like you're saying, although they may fall short a bit more in the early game, but they do transition really well going towards the later stages of the game, especially on strategies like putting Vizichachi on Gwen, having his split push, which you should see once the first towers drop as you look to switch lanes, which they haven't done currently, but they may be capitalizing on another play instead, because look who's bot lane by himself. Checolard has decided that he might want to die. Green KT, doesn't get the flag and drag, but to get priority over the bot tower, but Cream KT is left by himself. That is a illegal position, my friend. You cannot be in.
Yes, this is why you pick LeBlanc into champions like the Jarvan. If you're on Victor or Orianna there, you're basically dead. But LeBlanc, she has multiple options to get out of there, and she even was able to return the favor and do to them what they wanted to do to her. With that, they were able to get the Poppy pick, which will be a nightmare for LeBlanc in team fights. But as you can see, even with sending 4 people to a side lane, LeBlanc had options as there's a chance she gets the first tower down.
Yeah, and just with him not letting just the first flag and drag, right? You saw even on the way back, half his team was gone. So he was ultimately stuck. But speaking of being stuck, Vizichachi might be in that position. Zenith Blade will sadly not land, but the Solar Flare will not as well. Vizichachi, though, locked in a corner looking for the no button, and does that on Checolot, but now it's Chameleon up against this big, beefy Yordle, and Akabane shows up just to lock one down, gets the shield back, and he's living for so long. That was so close.
He lived for long enough, though. Hextech Drake going over to GamersOrigin. Jinx will be very happy about that. Poppy actually has 2 no buttons, and I'm pretty sure he missed the first one there, which was a bit interesting. If he didn't miss that one, I actually think he goes 1 for 1. So this Poppy looking rather scary with just a Divine Thunderous spike. We'll see what Vizicachi can do with that. Maybe he could be an answer to some of these lanes on sides later on. Gonna respond with a Herald for GameWard. GameWard, the team that has trouble in these 5-on-5 contests due to the composition of GamersOrigin. They get a lot of advantage from getting Herald because it lets them bypass those kinds of a contest. Just send the big bug straight in, he'll take the towers for you.
Yeah, and talking to the coaches of GameWard as well, they've mentioned that Herald priority is such a big play for them. They know that that's exactly what they want, and they more often than not draft themselves for playing around it too, because they're looking to push advantages and create power points in side lanes, which is how they like to play the map more often than not. Dragon stacking has not been one of the big power points or how we've seen them play the game, but once they know that they're fine giving up the first 3 Drakes, as long as they have 1 tier 2 down before the 20-minute timer, and then when it gets to the 5v5s, they're very confident in being able to play that out.
Yes, definitely, and feeling a little bit sad for the Jarvan. I've just been watching Ronaldo taking his Krugs and taking Waved and looking for the next jungle camp, but ultimately it is Smiley you want to be playing around, so I think sharing some economy as a Jarvan is good, and it's not too big a deal if the Twisted Fate isn't on the level of LeBlanc economy-wise. These guys have to throw gold cards, throw peel. There's a chance he's getting caught. He would have hit the no button if Shekalad was actually hitting.
Oh, no.
Missed the second no button though.
That's so unfortunate. But he still walks away because he's very fast, so he's fine. but
that will be a flash burn on a tank. That definitely limits the angles from which Poppy can pin her opponents. Hopefully she hits the no buttons. She's missed each one of these rounds right now. That happens in a team fight. That could be fatal for Jinx. And if you don't have Jinx, we see that GameWard can still come out on top in these fights.
Yeah, and you know what? I like to think as more of just Vizicachi has options from a no button to just hold on, wait a minute, sir. I think that's exactly just displaying all the wide range of opportunities that you can express on Vizicachi. But like you're mentioning, Vizicachi we've seen likes to take a lot of these off angles just to make sure to lock down some of the players on GameWard and to talk to them about things he cares about the most, which is, do you value your towers? I don't think so, because once you die, you won't have them anymore.
Oh, we see Shekalad is definitely the one to go toe-to-toe with Vizicachi here. Looks like another heavy grouping on bot side for GamersOrigin though, so he's not going to find any damage. That mid tower is so close to down, and we're over halfway through the Herald on Xin Zhao. I'd imagine they'd want to save it for bot lane, but if they can't break GamersOrigin, we might just see it land mid.
Land the horn though. Just onto one. Smiley will get the knock up onto him, but no more follow-up.
Yeah, no follow-up there. Smiley is the one you want to be knocking up. You ideally want to lock her down and then burst her. There's always 3 stages to a pick, right? And we are only on stage 1. Oh.
Hopefully they can scale those stages as you get throughout the game, but I think this might be stage number 2. Is Cream KT looking to knock down and possibly even burst one of the members, that being Inax most likely, but you see Ora on the other side, all of them going in. Look at Cream KT, the lockdown onto 2, just making sure the members can't get into the fight, but Vizicachi will give up his life for the trade.
Yeah, Smiley actually able to get a kill in that fight. He was on 200 HP, wasn't able to find an angle for Melanic to actually get the flank. He was positioned for it the whole time, but he wasn't quite able to get down Smiley. That would have just about been enough, but Smiley got to live, Smiley got a reset. They weren't able to get the fight, but they were able to take the tower. Now, Akabane's Herald very close to dropping here, so I think he's just going to let it roll on bot, as we were expecting. He didn't end up having to use it mid. They got everything that they wanted mid. Wait, he didn't drop it.
I mean,
he just lost. No, he did!
Okay,
Thank God! Oh my lord, I thought
we thought that we just lost the timer. That would have been tragic if that happened. But he's fine, everything's okay. The Herald will slowly walk his way all the way down to the bot lane. Might be able to get one charge depending on the wave state, but might be left as clearing minions. Instead though, we'll wait for him, we'll wait for Herald to at least clear out these 2 minions. And with this, they should get brought priority, but as one more wave comes in, might not even need it, as that is Dragon going over to GameWard. As he looked to probably get that Vizicachi, just cut him off. As they're the Horn,
Smiley.
knock up on a Smiley along with a solar flare, but they can't get into him. Wave as well as body blocking for how much longer? That's 2 seconds. And Vizichachi's no button comes in a bit too late. That's the bot lane down for GamersOrigin.
Yep, and that's the game. That's the game as simple as it is for GameWard. They just have to keep finding the picks on this Jinx there. Vizichachi showed on bot, so they knew Jinx had minimal protection. Vizichachi lands the first no button, or the stay right there button, taking a lot of damage here, but also dealing a surprising amount.
And I believe Vizichachi will also stay right there as well, as he gets taken down. The next pick stayed far too long in the bot lane when he knew that all of GameWard were right across the pond. A bit of an overextension, but nonetheless, GameWard run the match.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, his entire team was off the map. Entire team of GameWard was on the map, albeit Ornn was topside. Definitely a bit of an overextension there for Vizichachi. You can see here, he split off from the Jinx. They sight the Jinx. It's only Njave there. They get the knock up, immediately burst everything that they can. Smiley, he's locked for too long. He isn't able to make the distance while they finish the Alistar. And Poppy there just a little bit too late.
And now, with the Dragon taken as well for GameWard 2, they cannot continue to extend this game. GamersOrigin, if they would have the sole point, that would have been a forced fight, which I'm sure they would have liked to take against this team. But now with themselves, Baron is up and likely the next target for the next two. So as they're moving, their lane is to get topside priority. Vizichachi alongside Smiley and Wave and a Cream KT are all moving up here as they get Geo just to clear out mid. Okay.
Yep, I mean, it's a straightforward... Oh, it's a free man here on the midsection. Ornn isn't showing anywhere yet, so he's an ever-present threat. He doesn't have teleport, so when he does show bot, GamersOrigin might realize that they have a 5-man on top of Vizichachi. He's being burst down again. Chekolad doing a lot of damage. The no button is down. Vizichachi won't be able to enter the fight.
Yeah, they can't do anything at all. You saw Akabe just waited out, just a denial of the dash, and once that was done as well, that Vizichachi flashed down again. I saw he just got it back up too. That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. A good flash burn from them, and also in the time it took for both teams to disengage, Ornn was able to unlock priority on bot and start roaming, so the brief window of 5v5 topside vanished along with Vizichachi's flash. Now it's full Baron control for GameWard. They're looking to play mid to top. Chekolad missing these chains.
Yeah, speaking of being mid to top as well, Chekolad topside, immediate exhaust put down on Zakabane. A Cream KT can't lock down anybody, but Chekolad has to be careful here. He's decently low. He knows he can't do much. Ooh, missing by a hair. That Rocket that could have been clutch and given GEO the map priority they needed before. Now they'll just trade cooldowns.
They will, and the full reset coming in from GameWard. Resets coming in from GamersOrigin as well, though. Vizichachi pushing out bot side. You're likely to see them regain control of bot side before they make a play for Baron again. Ultimately, they spent all of this going... What was that? I think they were just checking to see if they were doing Baron there. I don't see any other reason why you would use Ultimate in that situation. They see that they're not. They also see LeBlanc out on the map on bot side now and Zeri on midsection to confirm. They aren't able to get any control of Baron though during this time because their resets were also delayed. So we've used the top side control we had, not to bait Baron in a 5v4 situation, that ended up burning a lot of it to attempt to get a kill onto Ronaldo. It turned into a stalemate, and now the map resets again. In my opinion, that actually benefits GamersOrigin overall, though obviously losing Poppy wasn't so good, because this Jinx gets scarier and scarier the longer they go, and Vizichachi gets more and more unkillable. There aren't really strong answers to that on the side of GameWard in the 5-on-5 situation. I think that situation gets stronger and stronger for GamersOrigin.
Yeah, as of right now, GamersOrigin locked down one. A big knock-up on the 3 people for Wave. Look at the backside, Smiley locked down as well. So it's a CC across the board for all these teams as Chameleon takes a big part of the damage. Chekolad goes in, gets locked up right away, and he's the target you want as a trade 1-for-1 support from mid laner. And now Geo, they get the second. Vizichachi just far too tanky, but look on the backside, Smiley is excited. He's not locked down. All CC on him, almost full health, takes 2 tower shots, but does not care.
Yeah, they finally get the 5-on-5 they want. Vizichachi lands 2 very, very critical pins onto the wall. No flash needed for those. manages to lock down Shekalad as Shekalad goes aggressive, then locks down the second on the other side of the torches. Turns into resets for Smiley, turns into a one-team fight. You can see the power in group situations that GamersOrigin have once Smiley is grouped with them, and given how difficult it is to get on top of him at all.
Yeah, because you see just how far back Smiley plays, right? Like you're mentioning with the flash and the cleanse as well. He has all these options to make sure that he stays alive, speaking of which.
Yep, so we get the catch onto Akabane at first, but watch Vizicachi here, right? Camilius has to flash away from here or get pinned. Shekalad moves in, and Vizicachi immediately pins him to the wall here. That grants the first reset towards Jinx. Jinx moves into Akabane. Vizicachi sees this is another opportunity, gets the second pin, turns into a double here for the Twisted Fate, and 2 potential kills there for Smiley. Everyone else just has to run. They don't want to let them get any more. But those 2 pins were so critical. Removes the threat of Shekalad for the rest of the fight and sets up the second pin.
And this is why we talk so much about Vizicachi, especially about his Poppy play. He wants to be the person setting up for his team. He wants to be the guy to make sure that GO is set up for success. And veteran, you were mentioning as well, this is a Vizicachi classic, and I'm glad we get to see just how powerful it can be.
Yes, I mean, right from the old ages, when he first moved into the EULCS, and I think between Season 3 and Season 4, when Unicorns of Love promoted, they promoted because they were able to get their jungler at the time, who was Gilius, and he was known as a Jarvan one-trick, which is weird for anyone who knows him as a Lee Sin guy. They got that guy, they got that guy his Jarvan in the second game, and when that became a ban, Vizicachi's Poppy ban was now free, and he carried them 3 games in a row on that Poppy and qualified them. They were almost swept out. The reverse sweep came on the back of that Poppy, and then through the remakes, this Poppy has endured. He's made this Poppy work everywhere. So seeing that is such a throwback to somebody who's watched Vizicachi's career right back from the Season 3 days.
Yeah. And you can just see in the positioning as we come back to us for a couple of seconds, just the resetting one thing or another. And we're back into the game. Everything is fine. Nothing super extravagant happened, except we see a lot more vision control from Geo on the top side.
Yeah, we do. We do indeed. Looks like a big Baron contest for them. Ronaldo shoving out bot. Doesn't have teleport up right now, I think, but he does have ultimate spellbook. So we could just be a ghost away from seeing it appear.
Indeed.
Okay, there you go. We're back.
We're fine. It does have Destiny though, so should be fine as well. If he wants to possibly try to, move in and then go across just the entire map. So I think he definitely has a couple of options if he wants to use them. As I believe both teams right now are just looking to reset after all the contentions on Baron as Ronaldo continues to push bot side. It would be really nice if he manages to get this tower, but Melanik here to respond as he'll likely reset as well.
Yeah, with all of these resets, there's no way to stop Poppy out there on the top side. You've seen Shekalad make plays on him several times, but always with the comfort of his team's rotations. Given that they have to defend this tier 2 turret on bot side, and see that Shekalad decides he's going to go in anyway.
Yeah, Vizicachi takes a lot of damage, has almost no MR, so those chains absolutely chunk him as of this moment. So Shekalad is asserting his dominance while he can.
2 null magic mantles and the Mercs treads, but nothing. With the Void Staff, basically is nothing now. Shekalad showing he doesn't care about these pathetic attempts to nullify his power. He's 5-1-4. He has been the linchpin for GameWard for the last 2 games, and he's trying to be it again.
Yeah, and we've seen even just in the first game that they played together for GameWard, Shekalad, his first instances within the one of the first instances of the LFL, we saw him on the Corki, and he had so many highlight plays. I dubbed him the Checo God at the time because the fact that he got an early lead and then continued to absolutely destroy one team fight after the next, even yesterday. On the Corki, in fact, up against Mirage, there was no way for the team to actually get into the fight because he just did far too much damage. Sure, albeit Mad Lulu was quite good.
Yeah, but Ronaldo knows where it's at. 5v5, 1v1, 3v1, who cares? 1v0 is where it's at. No one there to stop him getting the tier 2 on bot side, and he should still be on time for this Baron contest. GameWard's composition, despite their damage, isn't taking it too fast. He has his ultimate. They will be able to face check. This vision control will not matter once Twisted Fate loops up. Interesting to see what happens here, because this looks like the 5v5 GamersOrigin want to explode the game. Can see them moving in with full vision. GameWard, they just have to retreat. There's nothing else that they can do here. Sure, you have Twisted Fate Ultimate down, but look how low cooldown it is already. 900 gold goes to the side of GamersOrigin just from Ronaldo AFKing on the bot side. And GameWard, they're baiting around Baron, but they keep baiting a full team rather than the slew of individuals they want. And then we get back and we see that, you know, I'm just chatting us. You know,
I think a team fight has happened, veteran. I think something suddenly happened.
Found it.
Yeah, I saw them moving down mid lane, and then I was okay. I think they might have overextended. Ronaldo stays alive. His flash is burned, but oh no, all of Geo died. This is tragic. But Baron is now GameWard. Yay!
Can I please see who entered? I need to see who got caught. Alright, let's get the replay here. But it's Baron traded for Infernal. Oh no, they just get both Baron and Infernal there. Full victory here for GameWard. Hopefully we get a replay on that so we can see how it happened. GameWard, they need to spread GamersOrigin thin. GamersOrigin maybe getting too greedy there. Visage Archie somewhat isolated. We see Smiley on the back line, but all the front line seems to be looking to flank, which leaves Smiley almost completely exposed. Camilius moves up, they all move up. Smiley's almost on half HP. Akame knows a 1-for-1 trade is fine, because now there's no damage. Looks like GamersOrigin were halfway between setting up a trap and contesting mid-wave, and in between that was the opening that GameWard needed to get on top of Smiley. GamersOrigin trying to do too much with a comp that demands very little overall.
Speaking of doing too much, there's 3 locked inside the Cataclysm, and that'll burn the flashes, the Solar Flare! One form of CC on top of the next. Geo just keep getting slowed, and they're running out of options.
Yep, I mean, that was a brilliant team fight win for GameWard again. They have the Baron, they keep moving up, but Smiley, he's alive. He is dealing out AD damage. The additional MR on the minions doesn't matter to him. So we'll see if they can deal with that. It looks like they're just going to split. Jinx, as powerful as she is, can't be in 2 places at once. Poppy is the one up here, doesn't have ultimate though to get rid of these minions. It will be a tier 2 going down again. Ronaldo 1v0 on bot side, but has to recall and has to join in with this grouping. Though ultimately, the options are difficult. We want to talk about spreading this team thin. Baron buffs on multiple lanes are the best way to do that. Once they got the Baron, the options exploded for GameWard. GamersOrigin, they want to just explode them on one of these lanes. But GameWard are making it very difficult for them indeed. You can see Ornn on bot lane. That puts him in a good flank position if GamersOrigin try to go on the top side. But also means that there are 2 threats to towers that GamersOrigin have to split behind. You see how tight a unit they're doing, but it's a 4-1v a 4-1, and GamersOrigin want a 5v5.
You get 5v5, almost all 5 members are on the top side. Edge wave as well, looking for a possible knockup. Cataclysm goes in and immediately out as 3 more get locked down. But look at the backside, look at Visachachi. How many more can he get? There we go. That's 3 more down, but Inax is popping off on the Zeri. All these lightning bursts. He gets the triple kill, and all of Geo have to run away. They can do nothing against the lightning thief that is Inax.
It's a shame because I think their composition, if executed properly, is very difficult for GameWard to get in on, but they keep finding windows around the Poppy, around the Jarvan, around the Alistair, and once Smiley's knocked up even once, that's a huge window already for GameWard. A lot of threat, and they will end up taking the win.
Yeah, just like that, the game will end, and gotta make sure to pad their stats a little bit more. There we go, there's the Nexus, and veteran, I gotta say, right from the beginning, I